What's up, CE? Thanks for stopping in. Good evening, Sharon. Just out here checking on everybody. They're doing their thing. These guys are just about ready to call it a night and hop up in the coop. They're doing their thing. It's nice and quiet this evening. Hi, Sharon. Hi, girl. We got those new free chickens, and they're just out doing their thing out back of the house here. Grit and Grace, how's it going? Thanks for stopping by. We're just out doing an evening walk around the farm. We got these two new girls today. They came from another farm that was about 20 minutes away from our house. And I should have got video of their setup because CE, you would have loved it. It was it was really good. They had little A-frames out in their backyard, and they had their roosters actually tied to leashes. It was really clean and really well put together, but they were like these little metal roofing A-frames, and they had all of their different breeds of roosters like on little ankle leashes. It looked like a sled dog camp. And like the rooster crowing was insane, and then they had jail cells for like their naughty roosters. I mean, they were set up nice, but it was hilarious. I don't know if I can explain it, but these two girls were in a jail cell waiting for us to come get them, and we picked them up. They're just the sweetest chickens. These little hens. I don't even know what what breed they are. They're molting, and they got like the sharpest pin feathers in the world. And we were like snuggling them and doing all that stuff. And they're just really sweet chickens. So we were like, okay, well, let's get them home. Um, and they're just like kind of doing their thing. They're out here foraging and doing all that. Yeah, little dinos. I'm just going back to the messages. Yeah, naughty roosters too. They were picking on these poor girls, and so, but they had so many that were there. I lost count. I counted 20, and I lost count. Little dogs out chasing people walking down the road. Hi, girl. They're very sweet. Oh, Gomez is over there doing his mating bleat. But these girls, they're layers. They're doing really good. We ended up, we culled out a couple roosters. Some people like to keep roosters, and I'm all about having our king rooster here, Mr. Stacy. He's hanging out over here at the door. And he's like, "What are you doing with my ladies? Come on." And don't worry, Stace. Are you going to fluff up? Oh, yeah, look at him. He's like, "Ooh, yeah, yeah." What's up, Stace? He has, this is his, he's, let's see, he was hatched in January. So obviously he's matured very well. And he's done pretty good. Grit and Grace, yeah, 2 to 3 roos. We're down to 2 roos. We'll see how they do. They're just kind of, they were fighting like crazy. Yeah, he's a pretty rooster. Yeah, CE, the molt is real. And I've thought, maybe we'll keep the second one. He's like a Americana rooster, so I think that they would breed and make some nice chicks. I mean, we're just barnyard birds here. We don't do anything really intense, but we we love them. We love our chickens. We try to do everything we can to give them the best life that they can. They got a lot of property to forage and all that kind of stuff, but it's a lot of fun for us to just come out and check them out. What's up, Stacy? You gonna call your girls? Can you call on demand? Go ahead. He's like, I'm live. I'm not gonna do anything for you. Hi, sweetheart. They've been enjoying a yellow watermelon. So, if you're familiar with the different types of melons out there, the Hermiston watermelons are most famous out of the Pacific Northwest. They grow really well over in the climate there, and it's one of those things where we got this one, and it's a good melon, but we just couldn't eat it all, and we're like, well, the chickens can have half, and so we shared that with them, and that's a head of cabbage that was on that hook. So we put that up there and did all this other stuff. Minigame fan, your cat did a backflip to Mars and back. I was hoping, I was hoping maybe one of these guys would do a backflip, but they're more interested if I shake a food bucket. Chick, 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 chick. Maybe they'll get into it. What are you guys talking about, huh? And Stacy's got a poop on camera. Typical barnyard animals. It's all about poop, eating and pooping. Oh, there they go. They're starting to go up in the roost now. Let's go over and say hi to the turkeys. We got Thanksgiving and Christmas up here. They got appropriate names. Hi, big boy. You pretty bird. You gonna show off? You're kind of getting agitated. Your head's turning red. Yeah. So I think so. Guy right up front here's Thanksgiving. I don't know if we can actually make him a Thanksgiving dinner because he's a really pretty turkey. And this was originally Easter, but ended up being a hen. So we are going to keep her, and then we have to decide which one we're going to eat for Thanksgiving. So yeah, you're like, man, not me. No way. Yeah, there we go. Big pretty boy. Stretch out those wings. Royal Palms. That's what these guys are. They're Royal Palms, and we hatched these three, and they're says not it. Yeah. Hi, sweetheart. Hi, girl. They love their spool. I gotta do a poop patrol in here for sure. And I've seen plenty of wild turkeys. We have, yeah, I think I like pumpkin pie. I'm sure that these guys would love some pumpkin pie. We actually have some pureed pumpkin that we're gonna mix up for them. But I don't know if many of you have seen wild turkeys. There's a place way north of us that the Department of Fish and Wildlife, or you might have a Department of Natural Resources, they planted a bunch of Rio Grande and Miriam, which are a wild turkey, native wild turkey variant, not to Oregon, but more like in the South, like Texas and, the Southeast. And they did really well. But a lot of the folks there, they love turkeys, and we love turkeys too. But it's always a cautionary tale when you see that much poop that they poop a lot. And one thing that they really like to do a lot is perch up on gutters. And gutters are a double-edged sword. They get water away from your house, but they also get ripped off really easy. And when you get 15 or 20 of these guys up there, they like to poop down the side of your house. And so it's always advisable, don't feed the wild turkeys because they also fly and they roost and they do all that. So that's why you guys have your poop containment here. Yeah. What do you guys think? Yeah. And of course, these girls are working over this melon. Hi, babies. Got her white Brahmin here. She's a good girl. She's a very good girl. We're very happy with her. And she's just about at the laying age. But you can see that they're going to get ready to go to bed. These two girls, I'm going to probably have to herd. I'm going to have to do that. Yeah, turkeys fly, and they fly good. They fly really good. I've seen them out like on roadways and stuff, and they'll take off. Chaido, how's it going? Thanks for stopping in. Kind of a late night stream for some of you. I know that some of you are not in the Pacific time zone. You're either in Mountain or Central time, but it's just so quiet out here on the farm, and all the babies are doing so good. Hi, Sharon. You want to come say hi? Hi, Sharon. Yeah. It's getting that time of night where you guys want to come up and visit, huh? Yeah, maybe we'll take a walk over the park bench. Hi, Winona. One of our dairy goats. Let's see if I get any babies coming over. Oh, there's Arabelle. She's our pocket goat. Look at Nutmeg. Oh, hi. Hi, Maggie. Hi, girl. Hi, Arabelle. We call her the caramel drop. Cause you and Sharon gonna have another cage match? Oh yeah. Now you get it live in real time. And Gomez is like, oh, there's girls over here. Gomez is gonna go to a different farm. He's part of a package deal with little Nutmeg here, Maggie, and she's a good girl. Hi, Wednesday. Hi, Wednesday. Wednesday's another one of our milk goats. Gomez is one of Wednesday's babies. You can kind of get the idea of the theme. Meg, don't you jump on my back. Oh, boy. So Wednesday had Lurch and Gomez, Adam's family. I don't know. I've never had sheep to be able to tell you definitively if they do the whole head butting thing, but they are part of the same kind of genus. Callie, how's it going? Thanks for stopping in. Yeah, Wednesday. She's a good girl. She's a great milker. This is her second freshening, so her teats aren't nearly as good as Winona. Winona's probably gonna do the old doe thing and go hide out. She's like, I'm not a camera girl. Oh, that's weird. You can't comment from your main account. Well, at least I know you're Callie, so thank you so much for stopping in. I really appreciate it. And I'm just out here enjoying the babies. Okay, Gomez, go be feral. Yeah, Mr. Feral Boy. Hi, girl. Oh, thank you so much, Callie. I really appreciate it. I know I was having some issues with retaining some subscribers, and I don't. There was something that came up as known as ninja accounts, and I know it's kind of like a ghost account or something where people have multiple accounts, and it was really strange that people were doing that. But you're interacting with this account, and then YouTube like yanks these subs, and I'm like, well, I really just want to communicate with people from one account, but I can totally get where you're coming from with if you want to comment or have a conversation or something like that. But it's always very difficult in those situations. Arabelle, what are you doing? I'm waiting for Sharon to rear up and kick Arabelle. Well, and there's the star of the show. Hi. Hi, Peppercorn. Hi, buddy. Really? Oh, yeah. Sharon. There's Ozzy. Hi, Ozzy. Yeah, we got Mr. Peppercorn. He's the star. He's just a fat little boy. Huh. Hi, Pep. Hi, Pep. And then Nutmeg here. The goat behind shot. Oh, he wants to eat my shorts. Pepper. You naughty little boy. Hi, Sharon. Oh, we'll see if we have a cage match in the barn. Oh, Nutmeg. She's a luxury goat. That's really strange that it's not allowing you to comment, because that's like your channel. That's where you do most of your stuff from. And YouTube, why has it got to be so weird? I'm noticing over on Facebook and Instagram, and I've done this before, so that's why I was excited to be able to go live, because I really like the live format, because there again, we can all communicate in real time. But I've noticed like Facebook and Meta and all that entire conundrum it's got really strange about all that stuff. And Gomez, you gonna bounce? I want Are you a managing moderator by chance on CE Kirby or Kirby's account? I see that you come up as a blue wrench, but I have my other fishing account, and I have a really good friend. And he's like, "Man, I've tried commenting on your stuff. Go back into YouTube Studio and check and see if you're like if you got set as a managing moderator," which is always a nice thing to have, especially when you have good friends. But it can really screw up commenting on like a lot of different levels. That's really weird. YouTube back way back was less restrictive, but I think that like I was on, gosh, now I can't remember her name. Oh, she always comes on Callie's lives and CE's lives and Kirby's lives. Why can't I remember her name? Darn it. It'll come to me here. Anyways, um, she was doing lives, and there was a whole bunch of people making just some bad comments. She was on her treadmill, and it's like she's just walking on her treadmill. She's talking about chickens. She's doing everything else. Clara, yes, thank you, Callie. I was on Clara's, and we're just like having a casual conversation, and these people like pop in and they say all this weird stuff. And I think Mickey Mouse does a lot of moderating over there, and um, it was just so weird. And I get why YouTube does what they do, but at the same time, when you have a managing moderator, they should be able to comment like on shorts. Like, see, you're right. They can't comment on shorts or anything, and so I was posting a bunch of shorts over on my other page or on my other channel, and it was like my friend texts me and he's like, "Hey man, I can't even comment on this." He's like, "You've been whacking a bunch of huge bass, blah blah blah." I was like, "Yeah," and it was really strange. So I don't get YouTube. Whatever, as long as we got good friends on here and we're all real human beings and we can communicate with each other and share our farms and do all of our fun stuff. That's the most important part. Where are you going, Gomez? You got Maggie. You're like a lap dog, huh, Megs? Yes, Chaito, we do have a fantastic community on here. Well, and it really started. It started with Cal for me. Callie's live was recommended to me when I just first got started out, and I went on Callie's live. I'm like, hey, this is super cool. That she had the chickens out, everything else, and she was, talking and she was texting, and I think she had a camera set up, and so it was really cool. And then it led me to Kirby, which I was like, hey, this is cool too, and it was intriguing to me because it was like people set up and a lot of people like to watch chickens and animals. I was like, oh, that's cool. I don't have the quote unquote technology to set up like that yet. I'm looking at it. But so it's really, it was interesting. And then CE popped in on my channel. So I must have got recommended to CE through like commenting on Callie or Kirby or something. And then I was like, oh, CE does live stuff too, and I went on his lives, and then GPC from the Philippines, I went on his, and so it's like this big like thing, and then Chaito, you were on, and then Clara was on, and it was like, wow, this is just kind of like a multiplier. So sometimes the logarithm works to connect good people together and do that, but some of the policies and the settings and all that stuff are just puzzling to me. It's very puzzling. Pepper, you're being a naughty little boy. Look at him. I, really, look at those little teeth. He's got little buck teeth. He's not a buck anymore, though. He's a wether. He's a wether. It doesn't mean that you're not a real boy. You're just not functioning like a real boy. Pepper, you're a good boy. I didn't mean that. I'm sorry. You're a boy. Gomez is like, I'm still a real boy. Yeah, go over there. Do your little headbutt thing. Yeah, that's the thing, CE. I've met tons of people on Callie's channel, and fantastic people. Callie, you've built an awesome community. So have you. Everybody here has. Everybody on this live has built such a great community on YouTube, especially for all of us little farmers. You know, I mean, we're all kind of doing our thing. We love animals. We see their purpose no matter what. You know, and enjoy sharing them. So yeah, I mean, it's just so awesome. But that's, I noticed that with the fishing community as well, is like it starts out and you get people from like, all over, and YouTube's like it's like this radar searching like a laser beam, and it's like trying to find the people. And then you start connecting with people that you live near and you get around with and everything else. And it's honestly, it's awesome because you get to meet a lot of cool people, and everybody's got little different ways they do stuff and all these ideas and everything else. And, and we got to share our ideas, our farms, all that. Since you're on here, Callie, I was going to show you, now that I know you're on here, I put a head of cabbage in the coop. And I made my own little redneck farmer hanging thing here because, well, why not? That started out yesterday as a full head of cabbage, and that was yesterday morning. I was actually gonna post a short of it and tag you in it, and like, see, they love the cabbage, but it's taken them the better part of like 35 to 40 hours to really work that head of cabbage over. Chickens love it. They absolutely love it, and they've been over here. They peck at it. They come back. They peck at it some more. They're really gutting that watermelon too, but they they are just going to town on it, but it takes them a long time. The lettuce, yeah, like I when I was watching your feed, the lettuce was, it's just so soft and loose, which is why, people like to eat it in salads, and the chickens like to eat it too, and it's a real easy thing for them to eat. And with the cabbage though, it's so hard and brittle. They all start one pecks, and it just turns into a shark attack, and they start hitting it. But they've worked that one down pretty good. So I think I'm gonna make a dangler for the turkeys too. You guys want a hanger over there, guys? Maybe. Yeah. I think that's a resounding yes from Mr. Big Boy over there. Yeah, we'll make you a dangler too. I got plenty of jack chain. So what I did, I took this old jack chain. Now I just put it. I put a screw in this cross beam here, start of the roof for this section, and then I took a piece of welding wire, and I just impaled the head of cabbage. So it was starting to get kind of funky. So I was like, well, the chickens will eat it. Some people are a little weird to feed their chickens something that might be a little bit of a discard, but for the most part, these guys didn't protest too much. I'm being summoned again by Pepper. Pepper, my pants aren't food, dude. Okay, fine. Go eat your minerals. Arabelle. Hi, girl. Got the tail flicker going. Yeah, good girl. Arabelle, which she came with that name, and then I was watching Mickey Mouse Funhouse with my grandkids, and then I hear Clarabelle. I was like, oh, I wonder if that was all intentional or not. Hi, guys. Hi, Oz. I was like, I'm gonna just keep eating. I'm gonna do goat things. Yeah, yeah, Kelly. You know, the turkeys were originally kind of a hatching experiment that we did. We got the eggs from our friends. They live about 30 miles east of us. Kind of a really cool place. The history of where they live is really cool. And we went out there. We picked up the eggs from them, and we trade back and forth. We give them quail eggs and everything else, and they set us up with 6 turkey eggs, and we had 50% hatch rate, which is good for open range breeding barnyard birds. And so yeah, we ended up with the 2 toms and the hen. And originally we said, somebody was like, what's their names? And I said Thanksgiving, Christmas, and Easter, because the original intention was that we were gonna eat all 3 of them and have them each for a holiday. But now that we have confirmed we have a hen, we're pretty happy about that. So we might just have a Thanksgiving, and the other two might have to be Tom and Henrietta. I don't know. Have to go with some classic farm names. Maybe we'll have a naming poll for our two breeding turkeys that we're going to keep. Wednesday. What's going on in there, girl? Starting to get our mosquito hatch coming out too. Hence the name Three Rivers, because we live in between three rivers and there's plenty of wetlands and lots and lots of mosquitoes, like Alaskan level in the spring. It's something else. Meg. You good baby. Meg's just soaking up all the love she can. Nutmeg. That's her full name, but we call her Maggie. She's a good little doe. So, nutmeg and peppercorn came from a goat that we actually we sold, and her name was Ginger. Actually, Ginger Bell was her full name, but we called her Ginger. So we stuck with theme names for all of our goat kids according to their moms. So, Callie, I live in Oregon. I live in what's known as Central Oregon. It's on the east side of the Cascade Mountains. So I live about 80 miles from Crater Lake. Crater Lake would probably be one of our most significant landmarks. So I'm 80 miles north of Crater Lake, and we are in the foothills of the Cascade Mountain Range on the east side. So our farm elevation here is at 4,200 feet. So we live in a very high elevation. Wintertime will be fun with the lives because you'll get to see the epic snowfall we get. We get a lot of snow. Last year we got 8 feet of snow over the winter. So we get pretty epic levels, and you'll get some snowblower videos coming, and it's a lot of fun. So, oh, Meg, she's a good girl. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And since we're training Ozzy and Sharon as pack goats, I mean, Sharon will be bred next November. She's too young this year because she's still just a doeling. But they're going to get a lot. They've been getting a lot of lead training right now. And I'm just about ready to start putting soft packs just for training to keep them from rearing and bucking. Because they do buck like horses. They're big goats. These Nigerian dwarves are just little babies. But those alpine goats are big. Ozzy should top out at about 220 to 230 pounds. Sharon will probably top out at about 200 being a doe. And they're big goats, and we're going to use them for backcountry packing. My ultimate goal is, because I love fishing so much, is that we have a lot of high lakes. And I would love to help our Department of Fish and Wildlife with them to pack trout fingerlings up into the lakes when they do the spring stocking. So, and the area we live in, we have about 130 high lakes in this area that are stocked by horseback and mule. Oh, I want to change that. I want to use goats because they can jump over logs. They can obviously climb at a very young age, like this naughty little dude up here. And they can get around in the backcountry without needing supplemental grain or hay because they will eat anything. Callie, have a great evening. Thank you so much. I'm going to keep going live. You guys are awesome. Have a wonderful evening. So I'm just going to come over here and check these guys out. Yeah, the sheep would be fun. Colleen, good evening. Thanks for stopping in. We're just out here with the babies in the evening. It's a nice quiet night out here on the farm, and they're definitely in the mood to not sprint around, but actually get their scratches, huh? Yeah, it's a beautiful evening out. I get the sky here. There's just something about the sky out here in the mountains. There's still some lingering wildfire smoke, but when you get out in the mountains like this, especially at night, there's no city light pollution out here. You can see every single star in the sky. It is absolutely beautiful, but we get this red hued sunset every single night. Even in the winter, we'll get it. And we just come out here and enjoy it. You can probably hear the neighbors' ducks. They're over there talking. They got cayugas and they have muscovy and all those guys. And I just don't want to deal with the water on the ducks. Pepper. Yeah, Meg. Uh-oh. What do you think you're doing, Maggie? We know what you're up to. Huh. Shoving her head through the hog panel to get the morsels and tidbits. Hi, Arabelle. Hi, girl. Yeah. Good girl. Oh, let's go check on our two new chickens. I don't know. They're kind of like, I think they're a little lost. They're like, where am I supposed to go to bed? So I'm going to probably have to go catch them in the most gentle way as I can. We'll go check on these guys over here. Wednesday? You a good girl? Is that Tasty Minerals, huh, girl? Yeah. That's hitting the spot, huh, girl? Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, these guys are getting ready to tuck in the bed. Let's head over. I think these girls are a little bit lost. Lost in space. They seem to be pretty social birds, for the most part. Some of our chickens are kind of feral. These guys seem to be pretty social. Hi, babies. Hi. Yeah, I think they're like, where are we supposed to go to bed? Yeah, they're molting out, Colleen. And that's the way we got them. But we got them for free. Free's a good price on laying hens. You can't beat that. It was such a cool setup, though. I think I started talking about it and I got off track, like I usually do. And the people, they had pigeons. I didn't catch what breed of pigeons they had, but they had like all these little A-frames. It looked like a dog sledding camp, like in the north of Alaska. All these little A-frames made out of corrugated metal roofing, and they had all of their roosters on little types of like leashes and stuff like that. The girls looking in there. They're looking in the family room. But they had them like in all these little A-frames, and they're out there and they're all like crowing and running around on these little tiny leads that are tied around their legs. And they had all kinds of different breeds. I mean, they had everything from Americana roosters to like Bantam roosters, all kinds of birds. But it was kind of it was it was a sight to see. If we go back over there, I'll get some video of it. But Chaido, you were talking about the coop, and this coop. Funny part of it is, and I know CE can really appreciate this. This was a kid's bunk bed. That's what the original frame was, and we found it on Facebook Marketplace, and it was actually out at a ranch that is fairly north of us, where they do pumpkin patches in the fall. And we went out there incidentally in the fall with the kids to go do pumpkins, and they have like just the most awesome setup. I love it out there. And the little boy whose bed this was, he outgrew it, but they were like, well, we're keeping the mattress. I was like, I don't need the mattress. We're turning it into a chicken coop. And he's like, I never thought of that. He's like this typical Western rancher dude. Super cool. Anyways, so we got this frame. We assembled it. The wood on the outside is rough sawn juniper. We went down to the Habitat for Humanity Restore, and we got a whole pallet of this rough sawn juniper. I'll go over the other side here. And what we ended up doing was it had all kinds of different stuff. So it had wood like this. This is all rough sawn Western juniper. And so it had a bunch of wood in there like this. And I was like, we can find a use for all of this. And I got the whole pallet for $150. So it wasn't like the cheapest deal, but it's rot resistant. It's the closest thing to Western red cedar that you can find. It will not rot, and we don't have to treat it with anything. It keeps our baby safe. And this stuff is thick. It's like an inch thick. So it's like super hardy. It's really solid. Anyways, we took that, I cut it down, and I just drove galvanized nails in it. It was wintertime, and it was so cold out. It was like when I was building this, it was 16 degrees during the day. And so I'm out here, I'm fumbling nails, and I'm like trying to hang on to stuff, and then it starts snowing. So I get this thing all built, and then I found a deal on some corrugated roofing, and the corrugated roofing, it really came in clutch. So I did that. I found some scrap remnant 2x4s, roofed it out, and then I trimmed it out with some more of the rough sawn juniper, and we had our coop. And then there was like some leftover stuff, and framed out a door, found some hinges at the restore, put hinges on. We had to go buy the bolt locking mechanism. So these guys get locked down like in this fortress at night, because we have mountain lions, bobcats. We don't really have raccoon issues, but it's like double protection because we also have the LGDs. There, well, one LGD and two German short-haired pointers. So they patrol the yard. But we did this, and then we built them the run coming out, and we used some logs off our property here. These are lodgepole pine, and we set those down in the ground. And then these 2x12s were left over on the property too. So we nailed those off, and we took the hardware cloth, and we actually used the hand-driven nail staples, and we stapled that off. And then we used the sheep and goat fence that does not hold in sheep and goats, by the way. Don't ever use this for sheep and goats, because they snap these little tiny welds up here. It's not built for them. They rub against it, and goats are jerks, and they like to break out. Bottom line. So we did that, and then I got some pallets at work. We broke down the pallets, we framed out the door, we put another locking mechanism on it, so then they got double locked. The only thing we haven't done is put any kind of roof protection on it. But in all honesty, between the LGDs and our LGD and our bird dogs, nothing comes from the sky and nothing comes around here. It's just way too hazardous. So that's how we put this coop together. And then the feeders, they're just the gray part is like industrial electrical conduit. So it's like a 4-inch conduit. And then we found some PVC elbows, and I just used PVC cement. You fill it from the top, and then they just peck out of it. None of this is like our exclusive ideas. We've just seen them. And so we put those two feeders up there so it keeps out of their poop. Next thing to do is to make a suspended water, or at least go get one and then hang it from this beam up here. But the beam wood, we have a local sawmill, and I went down to the sawmill, and I took them a couple 6-packs of beer, and they let me load up the back of my truck with all the wood I wanted. So now I have another truckload of wood, and I wish I would have known about them last winter, but our friends there again that were out in Fort Rock, we got the turkeys from, they work over there at the sawmill. And so we have a source for western red cedar, juniper, and hemlock, and it's all dimensional. This is like a true 2x6. That's actually 2 inches wide by 6 inches long there. And so it's an actual true 2x6. And so the roof's going to go on the front part, and then we're going to chicken wire this part up here so they get their daylight, but they also have some shielding from the rain. And I'm going to probably set up like a 12-12 pitch up here. So it's going to be, a nice sloped roof so the snow can sheet off. So snow will come out here into the barnyard, and then all I have to do is run my snowblower over this. And my snowblower shoots the snow like 40 feet. So it'll probably shoot it over the other side of the fence there, which is about 35, 40 feet away from where this is now. So I'll be able to shoot the snow out of the barnyard here. I do probably need to do something about these stumps before the snow. That way I don't hit those. The goats have done a good job of working up the roots and all that kind of stuff. So thank you for the kind comment on our rustic chicken coop. And of course, we have our nice little tool organizing here, so that way the animals stop trampling them and running over them. So yeah, a lot of fun. Here's another coop in progress. This is like the coop that's taken me 9 months to actually work on. Lock up the gate. No naughty goats to escape. this is another bed frame. So if you look at it, the way that this started out was it was supposed to be like a little fort frame. And so you could take like a little sheet and drop over it and, have a play fort in your bedroom. Perfect thing for any little girl or boy, any kid. They want to have a little fort. There it is. Well, more salvaged lumber, more salvaged roofing, and then obviously the ridge cap doesn't match, but the ridge cap is actually for some more roofing that I got from another guy that was like getting rid of it. It's actually standing lock seam, which is better than this corrugated roofing, but I had already put all this corrugated roofing on. I got out the angle grinder and put a cutoff wheel and cut it all to size and screwed it down with the washer screws. That way it wouldn't leak. Took a bunch of that rough sawn cedar or juniper and some pallet parts. You'll see Oxark written on it. And then we framed it out and we put framing and we started out with hardware cloth on it. But I think it's going to end up metal sided and then it'll get insulated. And this will be another small coop that we're going to use. And then we have some pine rounds that we're actually going to prop it up on. So it's got like a little hiding cubby for the birds to get under. And yeah, so eventually I'll get around to it. Maybe it'll become a video. You guys get to watch me struggle with doing a bunch of stuff with that. So I just got a buzz on my phone here. Oh, batteries. Oh, doggone. My battery, I only got 10% left. Well, just because of the time here, 7:30, well, and probably 8:30 for some of you, 9:30 for some of you, and 10:30 for some of you, as well as anybody else from around the world. I'm probably going to have to cut this off now because my phone is deciding to suck down all the batteries. But lots of fun. Always enjoy it. I always enjoy having everybody on here. So thanks for stopping in, guys. Thanks for the 10 thumbs up. That's a huge deal. And always thanks for the support. You guys have a wonderful evening and enjoy your day off tomorrow for Labor Day. Take care.